Okay, two quick problems for midpoint. Here we have the midpoint formula. It's written in an ordered pair, or as an ordered pair, because when we find the midpoint between these two endpoints, the midpoint itself will be an ordered pair. That's a lot of words. So here I'll graph these two endpoints first. Negative 3, 3. There's one endpoint, and 5, 9. Okay, we're going to find the midpoint of this segment. And just as a quick estimate, I'm guessing the midpoint's going to be somewhere in there. So I'm going to find some ordered pair that is right in this region of our coordinate plane. The midpoint formula says take the first x value and add it to the second x value. So we'll do just that. To find the midpoint, it will be negative 3 plus 5, and now we divide by 2. It also says to take the first y value, that's the first y value, and the second y value, that's this one, and divide them by 2. So we'll take 3, add it to 9, divide it by 2, and by averaging the first x and the second x, by averaging the first y and the second y, we'll find our midpoint. So what does that give us? Negative 3 plus 5 is 2 divided by 2, and 3 plus 9 is 12 divided by 2. 2 over 2, I'll bring that over here, is the same thing as 1. 12 over 2 is the same thing as 6. So I think that's my answer. I think I have as my final answer the midpoint is 1, 6. And I'll check. Go over 1 and up 6. Sure enough, that's my midpoint. Now, the formula is nice because even though I can do an estimate over here and see on the coordinate plane that I got the right answer, if I use this formula and keep in mind that this is the first x, this is the first y, this is the second x, and this is the second y, by plugging this in, I can even use these very large ordered pairs, negative 38 plus 63 divided by 2 for my x value, and 412 plus negative 57. That's a negative 57. Negative divided by 2. That's my y value. I could still find the midpoint here. I don't have a calculator on me, so I'm not going to do that one right here, but you can do it, and you'll see it for yourself. Next, we're going to do this problem. This one's slightly more difficult. It says the midpoint of a segment is negative 3, 4. So check that out. Negative 3, 4. They gave us the midpoint. We're not trying to find that anymore. And one endpoint, 5, 1. Okay, go over 5, up 1. That's the endpoint. It says as our instructions, find the other endpoint. Okay, so what's going on here? You have a segment that goes from here to here, and then it keeps going over here somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure where. The other endpoint is somewhere in this vicinity, and you're trying to find that XY ordered pair. So how do you do that? Well, let's remember our midpoint formula. It says x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2 gives you the x value of the midpoint, and y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2 gives you the y value of the midpoint. So let's look at that over here. This is our x sub 1, this is our x sub 2, and this is our midpoint value. So if I follow this formula, it would say the x sub 1 plus the x sub 2, which I don't know, when divided by 2, should give me which value? That one, negative 3. It also says that y sub 1, that value, plus y sub 2, when divided by 2, should give me this number. So I'm going to do 1 plus y divided by 2 equals 4. 1 plus y divided by 2 should equal 4. And again, that's coming from this formula and this information over here. So neither one of, sorry, that's a y. Neither one of these are completely solved. I still need to solve this equation. I still need to solve this equation. And those will give me my x and y values that I need. To solve this equation, I would begin by multiplying both sides by 2. 2 times this group divided by 2 just leaves me with the group. 5 plus x equals this stuff, negative 6. If I subtract 5 on both sides, I would get x equals negative 11. Over here, let me move this. Whoa, I won't move that. Okay, I'll just use a different color. Bluish. I'll go ahead and multiply both sides by 2 over here. Those cancel. I now have 1 plus y equals 8. Minus 1. And we now have y equals 7. So, what's this information giving me? X is negative 11, y is 7. It's giving me that number and that number right there. This value right here should be negative 11, comma 7. X is negative 11. That seems like a reasonable answer. Y is 7. That seems like a reasonable answer. So that's it. That's the other endpoint. Yay.